Who taught you to love you? Who taught you to berate and belittle you? Who taught you kindness and compassion? What lessons are you holding on to with a death grip, and which ones have you wiped your hands clean of? Hey there, I'm Cindy Coaches. I'm a writer and the host of Pen to Paper Press podcast. From time to time, I sit down with best-selling authors, writers, editors, publishers, and creative souls in my virtual studio to talk about the process of developing our stories to, well, completing our works of art. Each episode is an opportunity for us to explore our insights, pearls of wisdoms, and the experiences that began our journey from the moment we put pen to paper. Today, I would like to talk to you about the elements for a healthier life and nurturing the creative soul. It is an intimate decision to explore what is healthier for your precious body, mind, and spirit. The entry to this episode is from the rough draft of the book I'm currently writing. Ironically, it comes from the chapter titled, Who Am I to Write This? At the time of this recording, this chapter begins with the sentence, I'm not everyone's shot of whiskey, nor do I want to be. When I was describing this book to someone, they asked me if this is just another one of those self-help books. My internal response was not what I expected. I thought, bugger, which of course added to the not so graceful no response I stated. This book was never intended to be about self-help. Self-awareness, yes. Self-help, no. I'm the poster child of the wrong person to write a self-help book. And there it is again. Who am I to write this book? I am probably the best person to write it. I am, after all, the person who can write it from my point of view, from a lifetime of adjusted perceptions, and of course with my sass. I have yet to meet a writer who hasn't asked themselves, who am I to write this book? Or who's going to read this book? Or who's going to read what I write? Recently, while I was walking, my mind filled with the questions, who taught you to love you? Who taught you to berate and belittle you? Who taught you kindness and compassion? What lessons are you holding on to with a death grip, and which ones have you wiped your hands clean of? Obviously, these questions struck a nerve, or I wouldn't be, one, putting them in my book, and two, sharing them in this podcast. I cannot answer those questions for you. That's solely your responsibility. What I can do is share insights on nurturing your creative soul. The writer's soul intuitively knows our words have power and our stories matter. A point to ponder is, how do you feel when you write from the heart and empower your written voice? Again, these are questions for you to ask yourself. The subtitle for this chapter, and cue the big truck going past. The subtitle for this chapter is, On the Edge of Awareness, Something Miraculous Happens. Change. It's when we explore the elements for a healthier life that we notice the things we have either shoved to the side, ignored, or didn't even know existed. It is an exploration. With awareness comes change. And isn't that wonderful? What is it about change? Why do we fear change? When you observe nature, it's in a constant state of movement and evolving and going through the various seasons or cycles of birth, growth, rest, and death. As I mentioned moments ago, exploring the elements for a healthier life is an intimate decision. You may be wondering what elements I'm referring to. Am I going to keep rambling on about the 4 seasons, the 4 directions on a compass? Or as this creative mind gotten interested in chemistry and the elemental table. No. What I am referring to is our relationships, the workplace, spirituality, body movement, and how we nourish our precious bodies. Each of these elements have an impact on the others. How does your relationships at home affect your time at the workplace? As they say, don't bring your home issues to work, and vice versa. How do you react to the person sitting across from the dining table after a horrific day at work? Can connecting to your innate, God, spirit, source, or your higher power impact how you handle stress? Will you feel better, more energetic if you move your body or if you slouch on the sofa with a remote within reach? And food. How does the food you eat make you feel? Do you feel better? Which foods make you feel like you need to take a nap after you eat it? And if this was a health coaching session, I'd ask you about your poop and how often you have a bowel movement. Truly, your poop says a lot about how you're nurturing yourself. But this isn't a coaching session, and I don't need to know whether or not you're regular. It's none of my business. Don't need to know. What I am curious to know is, are you ready to take a lifelong journey of exploring the elements for a healthier life? Again, we are continuously in a state of change. For the creative soul, we have a strong need, desire, want to be alone so we can tune in, tap into self, and create. Our art, for the majority of us, is done in isolation, in silence, behind a closed door with the sign dangling from the knob that reads, "Do not knock unless someone is bleeding or has puked." We also have a strong need, desire, want to be part of a community of like-minded individuals that get us in our quirkiness. We are original after all. And when we feel connected in a community such as like the Pen to Paper Press Writer Circle, we feel a sense of belonging, supported, and as a contributing member to help someone on their journey. Community creates a beautiful cycle of giving and receiving that not only strengthens our connection to others, but to self. Where else can you learn more about yourself than through sharing your gifts? It's not the acknowledgement that matters so much. It's witnessing how and what you shared of self. It is an expression of self. If you, dear creative souls, do not have a community or cannot find a community, create it. We thrive at our best when we have both our alone time and feel part of a community. Creatives tend to be giving people. Be sure to make yourself a priority, then your art. It is possible to feel a sense of harmony. When we explore the elements for a healthier life, we get a better understanding of what changes we want to make, how various things impact our well-being, and the ability to answer the question, who taught you to love you? P.S. The answer to the question is you. It's always been you. Okay, it's time to wrap this up. Thanks for hanging out with me for a bit and spending time listening to my ramblings about the book I'm writing and my philosophy. I am a writer. It is what I do. I hope you were inspired to explore how your relationships, the workplace, your spiritual connection, body movement, and the foods you choose to nourish your precious, your so precious body impacts you in this episode of Pen to Paper Press podcast. I hope it stirred up a little curiosity to learn more. I would like to thank you for listening. Mere words cannot express my gratitude to have you here with me. To find the complete list of podcast episodes, please visit pentopaperpress.com. Be sure to subscribe and share your favorite episode. And, of course, leave me a comment. I do love reading your takeaways from these podcasts. Take care. And until next time, know that your words have power and your story matters. Okay, bye for now.